Hi students, in this session we will discuss about pollination in plants. Have you heard this process? You may call biological as well as important process. Exactly what thing is transfer, what thing is pollinate? Pollen grains. Nothing but it is the transfer of pollen grains from anther of a flower to the stigma of the same flower or a different flower of the same species. So you might have seen in the previous case about anther and stigma. You are familiar about these two important parts which are called reproductive parts of a flower. Now you can understand very well. Anther to stigma, pollen grains are transferred. How it is possible? We will see in the next slide. Now you got, I think, pollination is the act of transferring pollen grains from the male anther of a flower to the female stigma. The goal of every living organism, including plants, is to create offspring for the next generation. You know very well, it is applicable to reproduction. Seeds can only be produced when pollen is transferred between flowers of the same species. See this one, okay. Flowers of the same species. One of the ways that plants can produce offspring is by making seeds. Seeds contain the genetic information to produce a new plant. Flowers are the tools that plants use to make their seeds. Now we will understand something about pollinators because these are very important to transfer pollen grains from flowers to flower. Okay, what about pollinators? Flowers must rely on vectors to move pollen. See, vectors nothing but pollinators. These vectors can include wind, water, like biotic factors, then birds, insects, butterflies, bats, like biotic factors, and other animals that visit flowers. We call animals or insects that transfer pollen from plant to plant what we call pollinators. The pollinator is often eating or collecting pollen for its protein and other nutritional characteristics, or it is sipping nectar from the flower. When pollen grains attach themselves to the animal's body, when the animal visits another flower for the same reason, pollen can fall off onto the flower's stigma and may result in successful reproduction of the flower. In angiosperms, the ovule are enclosed in the ovary or carpel. The stigma receive the pollen grains, hence this is called indirect pollination. Pollination is the prerequisite for fertilization. It is of two types. Mainly, it has two types: self pollination and cross pollination. Again, you might have seen in this picture. In self pollination, you see in autogamy and echinogamy. So, these two are the main parts or main types of self pollination, as well as the cross pollination involve some abiotic factors and biotic factors. When you come across with abiotic factors, cross pollination involves wind and water. If you see biotic factors which helps cross pollination, they are by insects, means entomophily, by bats, we can call chiropterophily, and by snails we can call malacophily, and by birds we may call ornithophily. Likewise, you see in different terminology used for different type of biotic factors which are mainly responsible for cross pollination. In this slide you may understand about self pollination. See the picture. In this picture the flower is bisexual, so the pollen grains from the stamen is transferring on stigma of the same flower. So you might have understand self pollination occurs when the pollen from the anther is deposited on the stigma of the same flower or another flower on the same plant. Self pollination occurs in flowers where the stamen and carpel mature at the same time and are positioned so that the pollen can land on the flower stigma. So I think you understood this one. The pollen from the anther is deposited on the stigma of the same flower or another flower of the same plant. Like this in self pollination, it has many advantages. So when you come across with self pollination, you see in this pollination mainly helps to maintain parental characters or purity of the species. It takes place in the same flower, so purity can be maintained. The plant does not need to depend on the pollinating agents. There is no need of pollinating agents because flowers are bisexual, so both organs are present on the same flower. No need of producing a large number of pollen grains. How many pollen grains are formed? That much is enough to complete reproduction. Flowers do not need to develop devices for attracting insect pollinators. There is no need of again special devices or any other extra things. Flowers are not required to be showy and large. Already you've seen showy flowers attract insects. Here there is no need of agents or pollinators. So not required showy flowers or large flowers. Nectar and scent are not required to be produced by flowers. So these two things mainly attract insects. But here flower is a self pollinating, so these things are not required. So these are the advantages of self pollination. Also it has some disadvantages, we will see. Okay, when you come across with disadvantages, which are those? So because of selfing, continued self-pollination, generation after generation, what happens? Weakening of the variety of the species. Okay, the species or that individual, that organism, that plant is going to weaken, not getting any new varieties, so it become weakened. The weaker or defective characters of the variety or breed cannot be eliminated. That a defective character is continued. It does not yield new varieties. It's a must and should. The pollination is a self, so same variety with weakened characters or defective characters is continued. So what is the result? There is no need of to get new varieties. There is a disadvantage of self pollination. Likewise, we will get so many advantages as well as disadvantages from this self pollination. In the next slide, we will discuss about cross pollination and its main features. Thank you.